Okay, we've had some pretty weak Raws recently. But this week was the season premiere of Raw. The season premiere of Raw. The season premiere of Raw. That in about 6 weeks you can see on the WWE Network for only $9.99. The season premiere of Raw. You heard that a lot, so I'll cover the parts that were really bad first. Jerry Springer with Nikki and Brie Bella. If you watch Total Divas, you already know this. If you don't watch Total Divas, you probably don't care. The Divas match. AJ and Paige took on the dynamic team of Natalya and Rosa Mendes. Natalya and Rosa Mendes are a tag team because of Total Divas. So of course, they pretty much got curb stomped by the team of AJ and Paige. AJ and Paige then exchanged glances over making out with the Divas belt. Dolph Ziggler made jokes about the fappening in relationship to The Miz. It was like The Miz with like a shower cap on, The Miz shaving his chest, and then the funny one was Damien Sandow spray tanning The Miz. It was like, alright, that segment really went nowhere except for The Miz making a rundown and Damien Mizdow getting the crap beat out of him. Beyond that, that sequence kind of bombed. It kind of bombed pretty quickly. Now we're getting some of the cooler stuff. Sheamus and Seth Rollins had a match, with Cesaro kind of doing some distraction, which led Sheamus to eat a curb stomp. That's right, Sheamus got pinned by Seth Rollins. Afterwards, Cesaro came to pick up the scraps. So that match, looking forward to it. It should be a great match of the pay-per-view. This steel cage match. Well, technically two. The one between Jericho and Bray Wyatt. For some strange reason, they do not know how to book Bray Wyatt as being an all-dominant. Jericho's trying to escape. The Wyatt family keeps him from escaping. He jumps off the top of the cage, injures his knee. And the end ends up coming from Jericho trying to escape through the door, Bray Wyatt on top, hamming him from above, and then rolling out. They then throw Jericho back in the ring, get Sister Abigail on him. Jericho then gets attacked later on in the back by Randy Orton because season premiere. Orton takes on Roman Reigns for the umpteenth billionth time, but this time he's got a trick up his sleeve. I'm watching the match going, just load the cage, make it a cage match. A bunch of people come down to the ring. All of a sudden, they lower the steel cage. But Roman Reigns is able to fend off Kane and Seth Rollins, just leaving he in the cage along with Randy Orton. Which goes kind of pointless because Seth Rollins makes a jump off the top. In a different location from where Jericho did it. They then do the three-man beatdown of Roman Reigns. Okay. It's like, alright, that's three-man beatdown of Roman Reigns, alright, whatever. The team of Goldust and Stardust took on Los Matadores. And they did a pretty good job. Nice match. There's a good amount of back and forth to it. It worked well. Nice dynamic match. With the Dust getting the win. Going up the apron, then getting attacked from behind by the Usos. Alright, that feud got a little fire to it now. Sounds pretty good. I'm liking it. Should be interesting. Adam Rose fought Titus O'Neil and beat Titus O'Neil for like the 5th time. Titus O'Neil now has a perfect loss record against Adam Rose and Sheamus. Paul Heyman came down and was going to tell John Cena the way he can beat Brock Lesnar. And all he has to do is give in to the dark side. I know you're probably thinking this is the same thing that Bray Wyatt said, that Kane said. But this time, Heyman worked it beautifully. So that guy right there in the 6th row, that fat guy, just go tell him to shut up. And he was like, I even do a rap, and he bust a really quick freestyle. And I'll be honest, I'm pretty sure when that was done, people probably started taking some Paul Heyman lines and gave it either like some dubstep for a background. I guess, Whoa, 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 whoa. Ladies and gentlemen, whoa, 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 whoa. Ladies and... Brock! Brock! Well, you could easily take, because Heyman has that perfect delivery that you could probably work pretty easily in almost any sort of random thing in the background. You could probably even do it with something to like, what does the Fox say, if you want to go back in time a couple of years. But then John Cena comes out. And Cena, again, because one of those very impassioned promos, but he didn't go goofy with it. He talked about, how he's like, I do this for that little kid who finishes his homework so he can come see me. And for his dad that says I suck. But after tonight, he says, you know what, I don't like you, but I appreciate what you do. Talked about meeting some guy who lost his leg, who's handing him his Purple Heart because he believes in John. And John's like almost crying at this time. And I was like, that's the John Cena that I talked about last night in my Total Divas review. There needs to be that, like, I am this John Cena because I have to be. I am the perfect goody two-shoe heel because I have no other option. He's like, I couldn't change if I wanted to. He's like, it's almost like, I am the vanilla face, but I am the vanilla face that all the vanilla faces wish they could vanilla to be. And I am that way because it's what I have to do. And Paul was like, if you just get a little dirty, you can beat Brock Lesnar. If you can't get dirty, you will never beat Brock Lesnar. And Cena's like, you know what? Next week, either I'm fighting you in the ring, or I'm fighting Brock Lesnar in the ring. And then we get to, by far, the penultimate, most important part of the night. They did a tag match with the 4 people who are the main event for NXT TakeOver. Sami Zayn and Adrian Neville took on Tyson Kidd and Tyler Breeze. Nice match. They threw out what you would pretty much see in an NXT match, just add like 10-15 minutes to it. Beautiful Red Arrow, which is a twisting, corkscrew shooting star, done by Adrian Neville. Great match, worked well. You could tell the crowd was like, whoa, wait a minute, what? Except the people who were Ring of Honor marks, who were chanting Olé. Great, I loved seeing that. I cannot wait for NXT TakeOver this Thursday. WWE Network, which you can see for $9.99. I think NXT puts on probably one of the best hours of wrestling you're going to see, unless you live in Japan. So, looking forward to that, as well as the debut of Kenta, only on NXT TakeOver, all available on WWE Network, for the low, low price of $9.99.